Microsoft Excel conditional formatting allows you to highlight patterns and trends of data. Under the conditional formatting in Excel, you can see you can highlight cell rules and apply cell rules that are greater than, less than, between, text that contains a date or duplicate values, top or bottom rules, use data bars, color scales, and icon sets. You can see there's various icons you can use based on specific rules that you apply in your dataset. You can also create a new rule from scratch, either using the inbuilt rules here. You can see there are rules that format cells based on their values. You can format only cells that contain specific values. You can format only top and bottom rank values all the way down, where you can use a formula to determine. You can also clear rules that are either in your cells or worksheets. So you can either clear selected rules in selected cells, entire sheets, clear rules from a table, or rules from a pivot table. When you go to manage rules, you'll see all the rules that are either in the current selection or in your worksheet. So starting with the first one, where we highlight cell rules based on values that are greater than. For example, in my column here, column N that has amounts, I can highlight you apply a cell rule that highlights only values that are above 8,000. So I'll go to highlight cell rules greater than. So it will give you a suggested value based on the active cell, but I want to change this to 8,000. The default is light red fill with dark text, but you can change this. Use yellow. You can use light red fill, or go to custom to apply your own color. So for the custom one, you can put the cell color and say, for example, I want blue. You can also put cell borders. You can put fill or a specific number format. So for our case, I want to just highlight the cell. So I'll have the font default is automatic, then fill my cell with blue, and then click OK. Now this highlights all cells that are above 8,000. Then I click like that. When you filter this, you can go to data, then filter. So when I filter here, I can filter by color. So filter by color. So I only filter out the blue ones, and you can see I have only the default one and the blue ones. So it only gives me values that are only rows that are above 8,000. I'll come back here and clear the cell rules. So home, conditional formatting, clear cell rules. So since I've not selected selected the column, I can click clear rules from entire sheet. So that comes there. The next one is you can highlight cell rules that are less than, between. Let's try the one with between. So I'll select the column that I want, or only the cells that I want to highlight, then highlight cell rules that are between. Say I want values that are between 1,000 and 2,000, and then leave this like that. So it will give me the rules like that. The next one is highlighting cell rules for specific dates. So for example, I want to only highlight uh, cells in the transaction date column that are only appearing in February. This data is for about 4 years, 2020 to 2024, and I want to only highlight only transactions that are happening in February. So I'll select that, conditional formatting, then highlight cell rules, then you can highlight dates based on entries. So I'd come to highlight dates occurring. So use the built-in. So it's either occurring yesterday, today, tomorrow, in the last 7 days, last week, this month, or next month. Let's say, for example, I want only appearing last month. So I'll click last month like this, and it will give me in my data set last month is February. So I go to data, filter this, and when I filter out only based on like this, and you can see only February 2024 datasets. Next, you can also conditional formatting and use top and bottom rules. You can pick top 10 items, top 10 percentage items, bottom 10%, above average or below average. This quickly gives you the ability to filter patterns without necessarily doing any analysis. So you just go to conditional formatting, then top and bottom rules. For example, I want items that are below average, and it will give me automatically. And I can also change here the color, and it will give me values that are below average. You can also pick letters or use text that contain. So if I select the country column, conditional formatting, then go to highlight cell rules for text that contains. So if the country is Kenya, I want it to highlight by default and click OK, and it will give me that. You can also highlight based on values. So, for example, highlight cell rules that are equal to. So you can pick equal sign, that is for values, text that contains, or duplicate values. The next one is database. Database allows us to use database without necessarily any in-cell calculation. So I'm going to clear all my cell rules, conditional formatting, clear rules in entire sheet. Then I want to use database here. So pick them, conditional formatting, then database, and you can see quickly what happens when I select one of the bars like this. It uses the value relative to the minimum and the maximum value. So for this case, our largest figure for this dataset is 10,000. And that is why you see 9,105 appears filled into the complete cell, while values like 840 appear like this. You can still edit your rule, for example, by going to manage rules, come to the data bar here, and you can see what that's done here is the minimum is automatic and the maximum here is automatic. So it picks automatically based on that. You can also use specific values. For example, I can say I want a number. When the number is, for example, 1000, I choose a color that I need. I put that color. Then the maximum value, I'll say if a number like that, which here 5000, then solid border and change say to green like that. Then you click OK, then apply, then you click OK. So you can see it has changed based on my values, where I've put a border, green border, when the values are above 5000. So next one is you can literally just pick a cell and highlight that cell based on a specific value. You can also use color scales. Color scales are just like database. Let me clear all the rules in my selected entire sheet. Then use database. In this case, I'm going to use color scales. You can see color scales applies the same rule based on the values. So they are inbuilt rules there. The next one is go to visual formatting. You can also use icon sets, and you can see all the icon sets that are here. But I would want to use and create a new rule so that I build these specifically based on specific numbers that I want. So I'll go to I'm going to use icons. So select based on icon sets like this. These are icon styles. But instead of leaving this as percent, I'm going to change this to number and change this to number like this. So for this case, I'll say if the value is greater or equal, so let's create three bands. One band between 0 and 3000, then 3000 to 6000, then above 6000. So if value is greater or equals to 3000, then the next one is greater or equal to 6000 like this. Then I click back here so you can see anything. So it's greater than, so I put here let me use start from 6000 like this, and then greater or equals to 3000 And I click back here. So is greater than 6,000. It gives me this, so I can change the icon and say this is going to point upwards. Then I'm going to leave this as amber. Then this is going to point downwards. So anything that is below 3,000, that is between 3,000 and 6,000, will remain as amber there. And anything that is above uh, 6,000 give me the green arrow pointing upwards. Then you can either say I want to show icons only, or you can put other custom icons if you want, and click OK like this. So you can see what has happened. So values that are below 3,000, between 3,000 and 6,000, and values above 6,000. So icon sets are very good when doing analysis in your sheets, and it's a good way of presenting your data. The next one on conditional formatting is you can manage the rules that are in your current selection or this worksheet, and you can see when I click this worksheet, it's going to show me all the icon sets that have all the rules that are there in my Excel. I think these forms are quick basic introduction to conditional formatting. In my next video, I'm going to look at how to use custom formulas and even highlighting entire cell rows for you when using conditional formatting. Thanks for watching.